Hello YouTubers, another turntable. In this case it's a Garrard 4HF, and that last H there designates high voltage for the European mains voltage system. This is a rather nice vintage deck. These started to be made in the 1950s. I've read various start dates from 1956 to 1958, so let's say mid to late 1950s. This came to me fairly recently, and I have so many turntables in stock that I'm not keeping this. So I'm going to, well I did, give it a quick service and I'm going to sell it on. But it seems a shame not to have a video made of it, because it is such a nice turntable. First thing to note, obviously it's plintless. These came as part of various systems, a lot of them portable, or you could buy them just as the turntable unit itself, without a plinth. This is homemade. It came to me as part of a homemade system, and by that I mean this whole thing was mounted into this box here. If I can open it up. Yeah. It has a preamp and amplifier modules by Mullard. They had a range of modules forming a kit, and you bought the ones that you wanted and mounted them in whatever setup that you wanted. In this case it was a homemade portable box. These don't work and they're not really worth fixing. I mean, they were cheap-ish at the time, and today you can buy them for peanuts on eBay. It's just not worth the effort. But this works very well. Well, what did I do to the turntable? Well, not much. It came to me in good condition. Did the usual thing about giving it a quick clean. I didn't go overboard. I mean, this rubber just gave it a quick clean, but if I was to restore it myself to A1 standard, this rubber would be all glossy. I didn't do that, and neither did I metal polish the tone arm. It's just been cleaned. I've also lubed various bits. I might flip it over in the course of the video and show you underneath. That's been taken care of as well. But really, these things don't need much looking after. They were made so well that they can supply 50 years of service, and all they seem to need is minor tweaking. Something else to note, remember in a previous video I said I hadn't come across that low speed before. Well, I was wrong. I'd forgotten about this turntable. It's on this as well. Unlike the previous Lenco, this has 4 set speeds, and in between them there's no way of adjusting it, apart from this rheostat here, which gives minor adjustment, 5% either way. It has 4 speeds, 16 2/3, 33 1/3, 45 78. It also has a fairly weighty platter. However, this is pressed steel. The other higher end Garrard turntables, the 401 and 301, have cast platters. This is stamped or pressed steel, but like I say, it's fairly weighty. And a quick shot of the turntable with the platter removed. As you can see, everything's in very good condition. And one thing to note when owning and running a idler drive-based turntable, this whole area here needs to be kept very clean. The pulley, the idler wheel, all needs to be kept scrupulously clean for best performance. The other thing I paid attention to was the head shell. This came to me in bits. So I mounted the cartridge underneath to the head shell with a bolt and washer. This is far from perfect. I mean, the whole angle is bound to be wrong, but the styluses on this are worn, so I'm not too bothered about that. I just want to show the turntable working, and has a strong signal output, and it does. The tone arm, a TPA 12-inch item, almost deserves a video by itself, but I'm trying to keep this quick. So, very briefly, at the rear is a screw adjustment for stylus pressure. It doesn't have the usual arrangement of weights and counterweights in this whole area. The turntable has an auto stop function, which is activated by these red buttons here, which are in turn engaged by the tone arm mechanism when it's moved. The auto start is quite interesting as well. By moving the tone arm to the right, it engages the idler drive. Let's put auto stop on. That starts it. That tracks across and off it goes. Let's activate non-auto stop. That starts it. As it goes across, nothing, but when I put it in the rest, off it goes. One thing to note, the cartridge and head shell assembly have been wired to produce a mono output. These turntables can take stereo cartridges and produce stereo output, but in this case it's been wired for mono. The cartridges don't have to be ceramic, although this one is. You can fit moving magnet types, but they need to be low compliance because of the weight of the tone arm. Okay, a bit about the culture surrounding these turntables. Back in the 1950s, they were found in reggae systems both in Jamaica and in the UK, and today are still bought for reggae music. But not just for reggae music. They play shellac records very well, they play mono recordings very well, and when fitted with a suitable stereo cartridge, play modern stereo pressings acceptably well. Why acceptably? Well, people seem to be of the opinion that its forte are the older records, not the more modern vinyl pressings. Not everyone agrees on that, but that seems to be the emerging opinion. And a quick demo with a record I know that doesn't receive any copyright strikes, although the music is awful. It's a cheapo jobby, and I don't really care if it gets damaged. It's simply to show the turntable working. So, an old record that hasn't been cleaned, a stylus that hasn't been mounted properly and is very likely worn, showing off a turntable that is in itself in good condition. Doing this left-handed, whilst holding the camera in my right hand.
To the sound of the coyotes call, there's a gal I love so, and she's waiting there, I know, for a stray on his way, riding home. I'm a riding down the Sunset Trail, 'cause it's getting near the time for roundup. I'm a dreaming as I go of a gal I used to know, riding down the Sunset Trail.
As the prices of 401s and 301s are getting ridiculous, and they really are. I've looked recently on eBay, and £500, £600, £700 upwards. Hi-fi fans are starting to take the 4HF seriously, and when used with a decent stereo tone arm, some people are of the opinion they provide performance to rival the 401s and the 301s. In short, the 4HF has always been loved by the reggae world, people who are fans of vintage records, but modern hi-fi movement are starting to recognise their value and suitably upgraded. And besides that, they are very nice looking machines. The head shell has been wired for and used them. In-depth review, yes, waffle. Hello YouTubers. Oh, battery power's going already. Okay, let's plug this in.